Good evening, and welcome to this week's London by Gaslight, a late Victorian age vampire. This is why I'm not playing good older. It's a Vampire Masquerade Chronicle, currently set in 1891, it's usually in 1892. Bollocks. Awakening for the night in the city of London this week is Alistair from the clan of the Moon. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Wonderful. Eveline, the daughter of Cacophony.
Yeah, we did stay the night somewhere, didn't we?
Yes. Eveline, the daughter of Cacophony, portrayed by Miss Hartz. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Wonderful. Aldrich of the clan of Shapers, portrayed by Bully from Tablegoth. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Coffee. Wonderful. Thurston of the Nosferatu, portrayed by Nitro Typat. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Wonderful. Sir Drake Burton, from the clan of the Beast, portrayed by Muck. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Wonderful. Inspector Grey, from the clan of the Hunt, portrayed by Noscavian. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Excellent. The coterie awaken. Some unknown time later. On Christmas Eve, their new companion Aldrich allowed them a long stay in torpor. He assumed they were such an eccentric group. It is probably normal for them. They awaken and find that good Aldrich, as he calls himself, is missing, but his various papers, such as passport and the like, are laying innocently on a small table. A telegram, addressed to the coterie, arrived during their torpor and lies folded next to the items on a small table in front of them all.
I'll pick up the telegram and read it.
To the mysterious strangers I met recently, I mentioned in our first meeting together that a being is due soon that has the power to send you to the time you came from. Tonight is that night. A fade that you are all familiar with is coming to town. You must find him, and, if you wish to return home, terminate him. I'm sure by now you are all experienced enough to know how to destroy one of the Fey folk. Search rooftops, look to the skies. It will be obvious where he is.
I would have read this out loud. In that exact same voice.
I start to panic and go to the kitchen. And you start to hear me run, go through everything. Pots, pans.
Are you looking for a shoe in the microwave?
No, we need special metal! I'll start throwing stuff.
I believe it was iron that you're looking for. I don't think anything in the kitchen other than a pot or a pan is going to be what you're looking for.
Well, you have any good ideas?
I've got a horseshoe.
Is there a fireplace?
Horseshoe.
You have a horseshoe.
Aldo gave it to us from in the future for this possible... I don't know, he gave it to me for this exact reason.
What?
We may be able to go to a shop and pick up some iron weapons, but are any open this time of night?
There's that one peculiar shop that seems to have things like this we could go to.
Is it open?
It seems like
Seems to
the type
cater
that
to
would be.
folk like us, yeah.
I look outside the window. Are there iron fences outside?
Oh god. Can't take a whole fence.
No, but we could break it. I mean, I say we, but So Drake could break it.
I do like how you're thinking, but this part of London wouldn't have an iron fence. But I like the thought.
Cheap sons of bitches.
I still want to see Alistair carrying around a gate.
Perhaps we could find some iron nails just laying around or in use and pluck them out.
Why a horseshoe?
It's made of iron. He didn't exactly explain how the whole iron thing works, so I assume I just chuck it at it. I'm not sure.
Well, if it's iron horseshoes we need, surely we can find some horses.
Are you listening?
What are we gonna do with a horseshoe?
I'm looking at the inspector when I say that.
Oh, what, Alistair? Sorry.
We don't need horseshoes. He's got a horseshoe.
But what if we need more than one?
Well, then I would think Aldo would have given him more than one.
I
You think Aldo
suppose.
did this because he knows that Thurston's the one that's supposed to defeat this enemy of ours? Maybe this is like
Oh.
your destiny of sorts, Thurston. We just point you at the Fae and you just go in there with your horseshoe and give them the what for.
I beg your pardon. I was merely the one he handed it to. I don't really think he.
Well, it's
No,
wound
Aldo-
up with you, and Aldo doesn't make mistakes, Thurston.
Yeah, Aldo seems pretty precise in what he does.
That would
Yeah,
actually make
okay.
more sense that it has to be Thurston to defeat the Fae.
It was
probably doesn't
always you,
matter.
Thurston.
It probably doesn't even matter what he uses.
All right, well, that's settled then. Thurston, go get him.
Oh, wait, we have to go look up in the sky. I go out the door and I just stand there and look straight up in the sky.
Pieces of snow impact on your eye. Alistair doesn't even blink.
I'll go up, look at the sky with him, and start singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Okay.
It's
a lovely voice,
would
but
try
nothing
to-
happens.
I would try to look at the rooftops to see if I see anything up there.
Snow and chimneys.
I don't think our Fae friend is in this region. Perhaps somewhere else, another block or avenue.
Well, I'm going to
You
go get
will-
weapons if you
you
want to
will
discuss where
notice-
it is.
When you're outside, that good Aldrich's horse and carriage is still there.
When Aldrich says he's going to go get weapons, I'll just, as I'm looking up, I'll just hold up a fork. You can have this.
Well, you hang out on to that for now. But I might take you up on that if I don't find anything better. I liked where your mind was at, Inspector. Just like railroad nails, right? Are those made of iron?
Yes, I believe they are. If that may work, do you think we will need to bend them into horseshoe shapes for Thurston to use them?
Aldrich's going towards the railroad tracks. Almost responded, and then he just...
Inspector, I know that in your profession you are supposed to fixate on clues and details, but I don't think the horseshoe part is the most important factor in this whole situation.
Yes, Thurston. You are quite right. You are the most important factor. I was just simply trying to narrow down the variables to try to keep everything the same, because we do know that you, with this horseshoe made of iron, is supposed to defeat the Fae.
Indeed.
Scientific
I'm
method.
glad we're on the same page.
Yes, indeed, Thurston. Let's follow Aldrich. I'm sure he could use a hand.
Aldrich. Regular Aldrich. Intelligence or wits, whichever you prefer, and streetwise, please.
All that for one. I will power that. 2.
I will give you that as you walk out, you realise that you're not actually inside of London proper, more on the outskirts. You can see a railway track off in the distance. It would be unguarded at this time of year and easily accessible. However, your main issue would be getting back into the main city.
Wait, do they not let people into the city if they leave?
They do, but it's just going to be a bit of a long walk.
Oh, I'll take the carriage then.
And you also you're not exactly sure where on the outskirts you are, because not to be countryside racist, but all countryside looks the same.
Is there a driver with the carriage, or just the carriage and the horses?
Just carriage and horses.
Yeah, getting my lay of the land a little bit. I'll return to the group. Well, any of you bumpkin types know where the nearest railway is gonna be?
I pointedly look around.
I haven't been out to the country very much. I was always so busy in London proper. There's enough crime in there.
Country
as
looks
is.
the same.
I don't think Thurston's the type to have been in the country. What about you, Alistair? Have you spent time in the country?
In this country, yes, I live here.
Ah, there you go. There's your man. He's a local.
Asked and answered. All right.
Well, Sir Drake's traveled. Are you familiar with the outskirts and the countryside?
But it would be quite a distance. And which from where we are, which, if I'm looking into the city at least, which side of London?
You're on the northwest.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Watford further north. Not much between here and there, really.
Wait, why are we going to a railroad track?
Oh, it's gonna get some, those big hardy nails. So when we see this Fae, we can, stick them with them. Unless there's I don't know if do they make weapons out of iron anymore these days? I feel like they don't. A good pair of iron knuckles would be nice too.
Not to hang on the inspector's point, but if it needed to be a dagger or a spike of some kind, why didn't he just give Thurston a dagger or a spike? Why a horseshoe?
Because Aldo's a right cunt, and he doesn't make anything easy. Everything's got to be
Right,
got to be veiled in mystery and this and that. He gave us a horseshoe so we'd look at it and be like, "Why the fuck's he giving us an horseshoe?" But the answer, if you look real deep, was that it was made of iron. I don't think it's the shape as much as his way of giving us a clue.
I mean, knowing Aldo, he probably gave us a horseshoe so we'd have a leg up on the ferry. I don't know. Knowing him,
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. But I'm a bit of an expert at Aldo. I think I'm spot on with this.
If only,
Well, I guess-
if only there was some sort of metalworks place open this time of night, we could just ask for a bag of iron filings or something like that.
Let's just all get in the carriage and go and just. I mean, time's on our side. Time isn't even real, apparently. So let's just take the trip we need to take, get our things, and then head to where we need. We don't even know where we're going, right?
I climb up on the driver's seat of the carriage and slap the side. Let's go!
Right.
I would
Alistair, you're our eyes on the sky then, right? Look up, and if anything seems like it needs to be destroyed, you'll let us know.
Okay. Anything?
Anything.
Oh, perhaps I'll sit alongside Alistair and keep a pair of eyes on the lookout as well. That way he can focus on driving. I would hate for him to split his attention between
Shiver knew exactly where this was going.
Oh, yeah.
driving and watching the skyline.
I would assume as much.
As I get in the carriage, I wonder out loud, does he know how to drive?
Totally drove it last time.
You can talk to horses. It all works out.
I'm getting in anyway.
As long as it remains quiet, I think I'll use my heightened senses while I try to keep an eye out.
The coterie leave the relative safety of Aldrich's Haven, good Aldrich's Haven, and walk out into the snow-trodden city outskirts. As they enter the carriage, they notice how heavy the snow is, and even to Alistair, in his lunacy, realises they might not be able to take the carriage all the way into the city.
Sir Drake, you might have to push.
As that word just arches an eyebrow. Yeah.
Are there any tracks outside the city we could get to without having to go in?
What do you mean by tracks?
I mean, it doesn't even have to
Train
necessarily be a station. I'll go rip them out of a train track if I have to.
Oh, we weren't looking for train tracks. We were just going into the city.
Or what about like trolley tracks too?
Wait, it's preventing us from going further into the city, correct?
The snow is.
You may not be able to get very far into the city. Railway tracks, if you want to take, you wouldn't be able to get to the railway tracks outside the city in a horse and carriage because the terrain is far too rough. Is there anything you wish to discuss on your way?
What? Where do you think good Aldrich got to?
Who knows? Probably whatever you got up to before meeting us.
He doesn't seem like the type to stay still.
Mm-mm.
He has some posse.
Were his people gone as well? 'Cause we stayed at his location, right?
You stayed at his haven. There was no one but yourselves in the haven when you awoke. Would you have taken his papers? I'm assuming you would, but just to clarify.
Yeah.
Like the note he wrote?
Aldrich left his passport and other similar items that are clearly important to his identity. And I assume that Aldrich...
I would assume that Aldrich.
Yeah, I assume that Aldrich basically looked at it and said, well, it's got my name on it, so it's mine.
Exactly.
The carriage comes to a slow halt as Alistair slams his fist against the door and informs the coterie the snow is too heavy. He can barely see and wouldn't be able to make the horses go any further. The carriage comes to a halt just on the inside of the West End. Let's get the two confused.
We might have to dance down the street, guys.
Is there a place nearby where we can stable or tie up these horses?
There is a graveyard nearby.
Okay. Let's tie up the horses over by the graveyard, and I guess we'll take this by foot.
What are the markers in the graveyard made out of?
Well, the tombstones.
Are they just tombstones?
Yeah, there's a wrought iron fence around the graveyard, though.
Uh-huh.
Well, Alistair, we found your fence. You can see the future, can't you? You talked about a fence, and here's a fence. Right, I'm gonna try to find a looser I don't know what type of fence it is, but it's the kind with the spokes that you can maybe pull one free or a few.
Yeah, finding one wouldn't be a problem. Do strength and strength for me, please. Wonderful.
5.
Aldrich, in an impressive feat of strength, manages to uncouple a section of the fence railing. Unfortunately, it's one entire section, but it is his to do with as he wills.
Can I break off some of the rods and pass them out?
I think, given how strong you are, yes. There's no need to roll for that. That would just be a matter of, timing, leverage.
I'll do that and pass everyone a little iron rod. And I'll keep what's left of the chunk of fence. I'll wield the whole chunk of fence.
Thurston, would you prefer intelligence and wit and streetwise?
I'm sorry, ask that question again?
Would you
that
prefer
was a bit
intelligence or
confusing.
wits with streetwise?
Oh, wits. Gotcha.
Do wits and streetwise for me, please. Wonderful. Thurston surveys the area and recognizes it with his intimate knowledge given to him by being a member of the Clan of the Hidden. He looks down the road and sees how snow-trodden it is, and looks at the graveyard and realizes the graveyard provides safe passage through, and would cut a monumental amount of time off their journey if they cut through.
I feel like if we leg it ourselves, we could make great time to where we want to go.
Oh,
Wish I had my boots.
yes, Thurston, that's a wonderful observation. With this heavy snow, I think a shortcut is in order.
All right, lead the way.
Yeah, since I figured it out, I'll lead the way.
I'll proceed alongside him.
I say goodbye to the horses and then follow.
I'll be complaining about my feet getting wet as I walk.
We like in the city proper now, or on the outskirts still?
You are in... Oh shit, my navigation is terrible. I don't have it. Around Tower Hamlets sort of area.
Yeah.
The coterie leave the carriage, and one by one trample through the heavy snow that crunches under their feet. A light mist fills the air as the group pass through one of the many graveyards that are built around the city. As they slowly cut through the cemetery, the coterie's familiar Aldrich is able to hear the faint sounds of a woman's voice. It's almost soothing. Oh, and you would hear this as well, Inspector Grey. It's almost soothing as the coterie head further into the graveyard. They can all begin to hear the sensitive words of comfort coming from a voice that is strangely familiar to each of them. Such phrases as, "Hush now, little one, it will all be okay, you have me," and "I'm sure you can rest in heaven now with the other angels," are whispered off into the night. They decide to take shelter closer to the noise and hide themselves behind a waist-high wall, stealing the occasional peek out as they spy Violet Mary, holding the decaying body of a small child, lovingly rocking it in her gloved arms as she stands next to an open grave. The coterie begin to realize that Violet Mary stands directly between them and their swift escape onwards.
There's not many things that unnerve me, but that's certainly one of them. Suggestions?
Yeah, we should use this against her if we ever go back.
Suggestions for right now?
Watch.
I'll nudge Thurston.
She doesn't know of any of this yet, so
Right, do you want to just give her a wide berth then? And I like what Alice says, heads out. We'll remember this.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best course of action.
Make a mental note of which grave she's at.
Also, stop talking out loud. She has a really good hearing.
Have we had much luck with spirits in the past?
Spectre.
No.
I don't have
I-
my
I-
supplies to do a seance.
I live with one.
I could
It's
slap
fine.
you for that question. I really could. No, we never do. It's always bad, always.
That's what I thought. Just my weapons tend to not work with them, and I don't know what else we could do.
I don't think anyone's weapons really work on them.
Well, so we
I
can
did.
wait for a moment, see if she passes on her own accord, or we do a wide berth. What do you think? I am a bit curious to see.
Yeah, can I Yeah, I kind of like where your head's at, Aldrich. If we want to try and get back a bit, we could maybe see what exactly she's doing here. Can I back up from the group and find a spot with good line of sight on Violet Mary?
Dexterity and stealth, please.
Okay. What'd you say it was with stealth? Dexterity?
Dex.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, my brain heard you say celerity in stealth, and I was like, I don't know how that works.
Damn.
Ooh.
Very nice. Thurston puts a single finger to his mouth, aims it at the coterie, giving the shush motion, and then quietly, expertly, dives and glides between trees and headstones. The coterie themselves lose track of him, even though they were watching him the whole time, and eventually he perches himself in between Violet Mary and the coterie, behind a large headstone.
And can I use heightened senses to try and hear what she's talking about?
Yep. You'll pick up various things. It's all fairly innocuous, but strange, as if the child was her own, and she's just comforting it, referring to the child as Samuel. You'll probably realize she ain't going nowhere. I think for your critical as
I
well,
look back.
you're going to realize the only way forward is through her.
I'll look back at the coterie then and do a very weird motion because he doesn't quite know how to do like hand signals to get his idea alarmed from distance. And then because I don't know what I'd say hand signal wise. I'll
Is he
make my way
fishing?
back to the coterie. Do I have to run stealth again for that?
Yeah. Dexterity and
Okay.
stealth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Signal. Is he fishing? No, I think he's kneading bread.
So, is there, could she be tempted out of our path? Like, could she
Not
move
anymore.
out of our way?
Well, she might have been able to, but she spies Thurston, who unfortunately
God damn it.
for him
I had a good idea!
is not as graceful.
Hold on, I gotta reroll.
Nope,
No? Okay, ignore that then.
save it
You
up.
already started talking.
Yep. We had a delay and it didn't come.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Not happy to hit the reroll button too soon.
Who, very ungracefully, especially compared with his previous motion, trips over a lone branch sticking out of the ground and falls flat on his face, catching Mary's attention. Her already bulbous eyes light up as she stares deathly at Thurston and beckons him over closer.
She only beckons. That's it.
Yeah, for now.
Okay. Yeah, if she's looking straight at me, I'll kind of, she hasn't noticed the coterie yet, or it doesn't seem to have.
Just you.
Then yeah, I'll go over to her.
As you approach her, you realize that she is wearing a dark red, long and wide dress, resplendent with frills at the edges. Her gloves match the red and are made of leather. She holds the child very carefully, but addresses you sternly. And who are you?
Ooh. Madam, I go by Thurston. You may not have heard of me yet, but that may change at some point in the near future.
What are you doing here? Are you spying on me?
Of course not. No, I was just merely trying to get in through town, and there's a large snowdrift blocking the main path. And being Nosferatu, I know my shortcuts. I decided to try and come through here, which is where I found you.
You have most excellent taste in fashion.
I thank you.
Interesting. I shall have to keep an eye on you. Tonight is a very unique night. You be careful out there. Many different creatures are out. For this night, Mithras holds a hunt. He releases a pack of lupine into the city. He and several others hunt them down. Through the night, whoever single-handedly gets the most heads wins. Nobody has beaten Mithras at the competition for hundreds of years.
To no surprise, of course. I will try and keep my head on a swivel, as they say. I've run into lupine before. I don't plan on doing it again, if I can help it.
Hark! Lost my place. Listen. The time. What's the time? And she looks off at a nearby clock tower. It's close to midnight, and there's something evil lurking in the night. I shall return Samuel to his cradle and fly. It's too late. They are coming. And she quickly, but still very carefully, places a small child back into its grave, before fading away from your vision. A few seconds later, you can all hear shuffling and shambling coming closer towards you, dirt being shifted and the clump of feet against the icy ground, and a strange, almost chilling moan, before finally you can see several rotting corpses coming towards you.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. I actually feel like I did good this time, and then this happens.
You took us through a graveyard.
And two corpses come out of the dirt right by Thurston, grabbing him by his legs.
Of course. Okay.
There's just two.
There's just two on Thurston, but there are three more coming towards you, with bad breath and ill intent.
Are the other three between us and where Thurston is?
Shuffling towards you, slowly but menacingly.
I dash forward with my intention to cut through them to go help Thurston. But...
Wait. I think that Alistair, isn't one of those your girlfriend?
Not funny.
I'd also like to add that as Aldrich asks that question, one of the shambling horde's right arm drops off.
What? No, I think
Oh wait,
it's
maybe.
from the docks.
Wait, we gotta kill him.
Right. So who would like
I
to go
will try
first?
to. I'll go. I'll try to throw a throwing knife at one.
Okay, dexterity and athletics, please. Wonderful. It's +2, so that's... Inspector Grey, without missing a beat, reaches into his jacket and pulls out one of his many throwing knives. It reflects the moonlight, and he throws it skillfully directly into one of the corpses coming towards them. It impacts upon the body, directly into the jugular. The corpse is unfazed, but still shuffles towards him. Next.
Since I'm being essentially grappled, from the I will just take a swing at the appendages that are binding me.
One
That
of
is
them or
flavor
both of
text.
them?
I
I would recommend just
either.
one.
Yeah, one's fine, but either's I don't have a preference.
Okay. And you're taking a swipe with a sword dagger type thing, or just blah?
Yeah, my sword.
Strength melee. And the creature is... Oh wait, you're grappled, so all you can do is try and get out the grapple, which is a strength brawl.
Oh,
To struggle against it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, guess if that's the only thing I can do. I'll rouse the blood first. Rouse. Fair enough. And then brawl, strength.
This one's going to just try and keep you in place.
Really? Okay. Yeah,
We do have that
isn't gonna
reroll
work
yet.
it.
Yeah, you do have. You can use that reroll you had.
There we go.
That's more respectable. Unfortunately, it's not enough to get you
Yeah.
out of the grapple.
Mhm.
Next.
I would like to swing my iron stake at the closest one.
Okay. Strength and melee, please. And the corpse is going to just try and reach out towards you in a very ungraceful and barely guided manner.
Wow.
So what
The
we're gonna...
hell of a reach out.
You take
Out,
3
never
superficial
end.
damage. Eveline pulls out her scissors.
Yeah.
Yep. And brandishes them towards one of the corpses shuffling towards her. It reaches out and starts swinging and flailing wildly, unguidingly. She manages to
Were you
impale
asking what
it.
I was attacking with? I was attacking with the iron thing.
With the iron thing? Oh, the spiky jobby. Yeah, no problem. The corpse manages to impale itself upon the spike. Unfortunately, at not deliberate point to Eveline. And neither party comes out particularly well. So you take 3 superficial damage, and the corpse is going to take 2 damage superficial.
I'm
Who's
kind of
next?
imagining what movie is it that the creature impaled, like it gets impaled and it just screams and puts it in further?
Lord of the Rings.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I'm gonna try and rescue Thurston, but I'll have to cut my way through whatever's in between. So I'm gonna go for one of the three that hasn't been attacked. Try and cut it down on my way to him.
Strength melee. And the corpse is
Whee.
just going to do its whole reaching out, flailing wildly at you and not generally impressed. Sticking with it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
+3 on the sword.
Yes.
So Drake unsheathes his sword and charges with point and interest directly at Thurston, aiming to get him out and free him. He takes a quick glancing strike at one of the corpses reaching out towards him, severing its arm. The corpse stops in its tracks and looks at the stump on its shoulder as Drake carries on forwards. Who's next?
I'll go.
Okie dokie.
I just cast imitation on one of them.
Any particular one or just a random one that's nearby?
No, because it doesn't matter how bad they look or how bad they're chopped up, their willpower doesn't change. So, the one Surdrake's hitting. Let's go with that.
Okay.
And you should say, need a hand as you do it as well.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think he would just be like, "You're not my girlfriend. Stop."
All right. Roll
Nothing
dementation.
crazy.
Keep your hands to yourself. Be all right.
Do you like to stick with it or reroll?
The beast doesn't matter. The messy critical will. Yeah, I'll re-roll that one dice. Do I want to though? Do I really want to? Okay. So 6 instead of 7. No messy crit. No beast.
I think it'd be 5, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
Alistair utters the words directly at the corpse, staring at its stump on its arm, where its arm once was. As soon as the words leave Alistair's mouth, the vampirically charged words echo through its skull. It slowly turns on its hips, stares at Alistair, and falls to the floor, shattering into a huge pile of bones.
I did it!
It talked it to death.
Regular Aldrich.
Yeah, I'll swing. Actually, I'm just gonna go to punch the one in the side of the head that the one Evelyn hit still up, right?
I am currently holding the iron rod that's going through it.
But it's still like that was the one that was still going after you too. Yeah, I'm gonna help her out with that. I'm gonna go and try to just grab the head and rip.
Strength melee. No, strength brawl. And all it can really try and do is try and dodge. Ooh. This is going to go badly.
Very aggressive.
Who knew
Aldrich
zombies weren't very athletic?
doesn't even bother rolling up his sleeves as he approaches the dusty, desiccated corpse currently impaled by Eveline. puts his hands either side of its head, and in one fell, gentle motion, pulls the head off, severing it from its body. It looks up at Aldrich with a slightly shocked expression, before letting out a small grunt as the body flails momentarily, and then falls lifelessly further along the pole towards Eveline. I believe all the corpses actually did something, so that goes back round to Inspector Grey.
Okay, the same one I threw the dagger at last time, I'll throw another dagger at it.
Dexterity athletics, please. Dread it or reroll?
I'll go with it.
Okay. Inspector Grey pulls out another one of his knives from his pocket, attempting to aim carefully at the corpse. Unfortunately, with all the destruction going on around him, he is slightly distracted. Throws the knife, and it misses slightly, impaling itself on a nearby tree. Toyston!
I would like to yell, somebody, could you give me a hand? And I'd like to heal, please.
Do a rouse check for me, please.
Because I always forget you can heal in combat.
Yes,
Wonderful.
that's right.
You could do other stuff too while healing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can I?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't even
Because
know
it's only
that.
a rouse check, you haven't rolled dice, if that makes sense.
Oh, then okay, I'll swipe the zombie, or no, I'm sorry, I'll try and break free. That's all I can do.
Strength brawl. And
I want you
one of the
to
zombies
break
is going to try and hold you back. Shit, where'd it go? I've lost one of my zombies. Oh, there it is.
It's a rough day when you lose a zombie.
Unfortunately, Thurston, as he struggles against the undead hands currently pinning him down, they prove too much for him. Eveline! Currently getting a hug from a bodiless corpse.
But is it dead?
Oh, it's dead, it's dead.
Okay.
I mean, it was dead before, but now it's deader.
Is it dead? Is it second dead?
Yeah.
What's still standing?
Because you're supporting it with the iron.
No,
Spike.
not why is it still standing? What
Oh.
other zombies are still standing?
Oh, what other ones are still standing? There's two currently copping a feel on Thurston, and one other aggressively shuffling towards you like an old age pensioner on buy one get one free day on Spam.
I would like to start aggressively singing Silent Night to one that is gripping Thurston.
Aggressively.
Silent night,
Aggressively singing
motherfucker.
Silent Night. Silent Night.
Hey, that's a good voice. Do a rouse check for me, please. And let's see. 5. All it can really try and do is dodge the incoming sonic boom, so roll Death of the Drum, informally known as Blast Beat. Is there any point in even rolling? No. 4. Eveline prepares her vampirically charged voice and lets rip with a huge crushing sonic wave that spills over across the cemetery. The gathered coteries swear they can see the distorted beam as it pulses through, impacting upon the corpse, ringing through its skull, making pieces of rotten flesh and clothing drop off of it, its nerve shaken, but its grip still remains firm upon Thurston.
Wait,
Drake.
can I sing someone's clothes off of? Noting this. For future.
Like you've never done that before.
The ultimate power.
So Drake.
I'm through to where Thurston is now, presumably. Anyone still harassing him?
Yep, there's still 2 corpses feeling him up.
All right, attack the nearest one.
Okay, strength melee.
Attempt to cut him free. Yeah.
All I can do is try to dodge really badly. Really badly. That's +3, so yeah. So Drake brings his trusty sword, which I nearly named Windashi, which is a completely different game, down upon the corpse, shattering it into several pieces, freeing Thurston on one leg, but he still
The
remains
sword or
firmly
the
grasped by
zombie?
another. Yes.
Oh.
Alistair, there
So
are 2
I'm-
remaining corpses. One is gripping on Thurston's other leg. The other one is shuffling towards you with aggression in its
I
mind.
pick up a rock and throw it at the zombie attacking Thurston. Get off him!
Oh, okay. Dexterity, athletics, please. Yeah, again, it can try and dodge.
2.
It's not gonna dodge. And oh, you jammy git.
Did I get a headshot?
That is just enough to kill it.
Uh,
The rock
I've done
hurtles
this 3
towards...
times now. It's nice to be good.
So fucking Malkavian. The rock hurtles through the air and somehow shatters the zombie's skull, splintering it in 2. Thurston notices the grip upon his leg has released and the zombie body flops to the floor. Which brings us to Aldrich and the last remaining corpse.
On seeing that, I'll pick up a rock and put it in my pocket.
Yeah, he sees that Alistair, he's onto something with these chucking things that they. And he looks around and thinks to do the same, and then he's like, no, that whatever works for him isn't going to work for anyone else. And he's just going to go in and try to pummel it.
Strength Brawl. I guess this, this one can actually try and flail wildly at you. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Aldrich strides up to the one remaining corpse, clenches his fist, and drives it straight through the creature's torso. As he does so, he lifts his entire arm up through the remaining body, eviscerating it into 2 pieces. The dusty corpse falls flat in front of him to the ground, and Aldrich slightly brushes off the dust.
All right, Thurston, what did you do?
I did nothing of any sort. I talked to Miss Mary, and she went on her way. By the way, there's probably going to be werewolves throughout the city tonight, so keep your head on a.
Wait,
on a
what?
lookout.
Why?
She said that at midnight, Mithras likes releasing werewolves into the city to hunt them for
Midnight every night?
day. I don't exactly remember, to be honest. But no, not every night.
It just happened.
Oh, I'm sorry. It releases them for them to hunt us or for us to hunt them?
For the werewolves to be hunted, but I don't think that we're the choice demographic.
So you're saying that there's going to be a hunt tonight, and it's werewolves. That sounds quite terrifying.
Wait, that doesn't happen every
Um,
night, though. Wait, where was I this time last year? I think real hard. I never figure it out.
I look up at the clock tower, seeing as it's, I assume, a few minutes past midnight now. Inspector, I'm afraid the hunt has begun.
I see. Well, we better stay prepared. I want to walk around and pick up the knives I threw.
Like, this is bullshit, because if this is a Christmas present, we never get anything from Mithras for Christmas.
What were you gonna say, Evelyn?
So, I can't remember exactly when, but recently I pilfered some silverware. Would I have it on me?
Muted.
Can't hear you, Shiver.
I think you're muted, Shiver.
Would you have that on you? You got that from these? Yeah. You could potentially have that on you. Yeah, like a. You're gonna take on a werewolf with cutlery, okay?
It's silver!
I mean, has anyone ever fought a werewolf before? I mean, I get they're big and hairy and strong and stuff, but they can't.
If by fought you mean run away really fast, yes. Yes, I have. I think a couple of us did inside that building.
I think I'm with Alistair. I want to keep my record clean on werewolf fights.
I mean, they're just monsters, right? I mean, maybe it's ignorance, but I'm not that scared of them. I think we'll be all right. If there's a whole pack of them, maybe not. But if a werewolf comes, Sir Drake could probably take on a werewolf.
I am.
Let's not make a pact now. If a werewolf comes, we let Sir Drake.
Drake's not listening to the conversation. He's just heard what Thurston said about a werewolf hunt, and he's just been smiling and cleaning his blade the whole time.
Now, I don't know how true.
Yeah, that looks like you're cleaning your blade, all right.
Oh, yeah.
The Nosferatu told me a story about I think it was a very cocky bourgeois that had a thing against werewolves, and he tried to fight one once, and it knocked him into torpor after one hit. So I don't. If that's what we're dealing with, I don't really think I want to associate.
I think I heard that same story, but that bourgeois was borderline like not bourgeois. See, I have this, Aldrich, if you may, like, you probably are used to this, but if somebody says, oh, that doesn't scare me or something, and they should be scared, usually you set an example, right? So they learn their lesson. I'm not sure I want to do that at this point. Just in case.
That's fair. That's absolutely
because,
what I would do.
if we are right, and it literally just eats you, and you had no chance, I mean, haha. Proved our point, but you're dead.
Yeah, not how I want to go. Eaten by a dog. What I could do with a werewolf body. Everyone, keep your eyes peeled. That's all I'm gonna say. And if one comes, Sir Drake's got it. All right, everyone else, be careful.
That's really nice of you, Sir Drake, to let us get away like that.
I certainly do not want to go toe-to-toe with any sort of werebeast. However, I will certainly back up Sir Drake.
It's awfully nice of you. When you say back up, you mean actually help him, or you're going to take another opportunity to throw a knife at him?
Oh. Yes, I'll be throwing knives from a safe distance.
All right, don't get in his way. All right. All right, we've got a plan
Fire?
then.
Could you imagine if a werewolf could breathe fire?
It'd be significantly scarier.
Don't want
Were-dragon.
All right, Thurston, continue leading the way and try to avoid any of the what just happened. And wolves.
Right.
I would recommend that everybody that can activate Silence of Death.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's my ridiculously long thing. It's free.
All that just to say, it's free. As long as you don't fart or burp, you're silent.
Could I heal some superficial damage?
Yes.
That's like a good idea.
Yes. Rails checks. Rails checks for everyone. Wonderful. Gain a hunger, Eveline.
What are we rouse checking for?
They're healing.
Heal.
Oh. Imagine taking damage.
Yeah, if we're fighting werewolves, I would also like to heal.
Rouse check for me,
Are we
please.
though?
Gain a hunger.
Look, I don't want to be in that situation where I was like 1 health away from surviving a hit.
The Kotri are able to proceed with their journey through the rest of the graveyard and come out onto the streets of the East End. Few lights are on in this part of the city at this time of night. Not a creature is stirring, not even a mouse. The Kotri carefully make their way through the compacted snow and ice, slowly and deliberately so they don't lose their footing. As the Kotri wind through the streets of London, keeping their senses finely tuned to the skies and the area around them, most of the Kotri keep their eyes to the roofs, but Thurston attention is caught elsewhere. A silver ring with a small ruby inlet glistening under the moonlight and snow. He sees another piece of fine jewellery, and another, like a small path dropped into the snow leading him down an alleyway. In the distance, he can hear the cries of a woman pleading not to be hurt, as 3 men, one of them carrying the woman, as the other 2 relieve her of her earthly possessions, all that she carries.
I kind of just make a noise to get Sir Drake and Evelyn's attention, and I, with my science of death still activated, head in that direction.
Now follow.
You going with Eveline, or?
Yes. Yeah, but I'll take like the tail end because I don't have sense.
That's fine.
The 3 men. Oh, sorry.
I'll join as well.
Okay. The 3 men don't notice you approaching, as they are too busy relieving the woman of her earthly possessions and carrying her off.
As they're carrying her off, I'm going to draw my revolver and fire a warning shot.
You sure you want
I-
to do that in the middle of the East End on
No.
Christmas Eve?
With werewolves out howling and everything like that?
Yeah.
I'm doing it on the sense of they hear werewolves. Why do they care about a gunshot? But then also I just realized, oh, you're going to alert the werewolves. Fuck.
Okay. You fire the shot off, and it catches the attention of the 3 men. They shout various forms of abuse at you, telling you to fuck off, mind your own business.
Next shot goes between your eyes. Now be a good boys and give her possessions back again.
3 men look at each other, look back at Sir Drake and the gathered people, and one of them pulls out a small knife and charges, probably foolishly, straight at Sir Drake.
Yeah, I like take a minute. Get the gun. Put it back in, and hand goes on the sword. I'm going to wait for him to come to me, and the moment he's in striking distance, just draw and slice in one motion.
Strength melee, please. Nice. The man quickly charges at Sir Drake. Sir Drake doesn't flinch until the very last moment, where he brings out his sword, and in one fell swoop, unsheathing it at the same time, slices open the man's chest and face. He stops mid-motion, staring at Sir Drake, and then falling backwards, with blood spilling out onto the snow. The two men remaining look at each other, look back at Sir Drake, drop the woman, and run off into the night.
Because Thurston would have been doing this, I approached the woman with all the things that I found on the ground, leading a trail to where they were at, and of course, trying to hide my face a little bit. Madam, your possessions?
Thurston looks down at a red-haired woman. Her disheveled appearance doesn't detract much from her natural beauty, and her blue eyes seem to glow under the night sky and the ground snow. She says, slightly out of breath, Thank you, sir. Good sir, that was so kind of you. You saved my life, and I fear my honour. Those men were... And she looks down at the ground. Who are you, sir? What is your name?
I'm, my name is Thurston.
Thurston. I am Clara. So pleasure to meet you, sir.
Ah. Clara. It's nice to meet you as well.
I was on my way to meet a Mr. Havisham. I am forced to sell most of my jewellery. The family is fallen on hard times. Mother dear is sick. Father has departed this plane. We have no other means to make money, so we had to sell the family jewels.
Well, I know of Mr. Havisham. Him and I have done business in the past, and maybe more in the future, you could say. He'll get you set right.
Wonderful. You have not just saved my life, but that of my family and perhaps my virtue. You are a great and honourable man, sir.
Indeed, I try.
Hey, Shiver.
Yes, babe.
Never mind, I'm not gonna do it to Clara. It's gonna use Submerge Directive. No, I'm not gonna do it to Clara.
You're gonna.
There's a line in the sand, and you're like, not Clara, not Clara.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Clara. Yeah.
That's awesome.
She takes the remainder of her jewellery, gives you all a small curtsy, and wanders off into the night.
A split second after she curtsies, I curtsy in return.
Thurston, somewhat shaken, but not stirred, learning exactly why Clara seems so fascinated by him, heads back up and meets with the rest of the coterie.
You do all the hard work, someone else takes the credit. We shouldn't hang around. Werewolves of London, after all.
I'll move on quickly.
I'll kind of pull Thurston aside. Well, so Drake sort of has a point. A lot of other people have been doing the work, and you've been taking the credit. I can see him rubbing off on you, Thurston. I like it. Let's continue going.
I'm so sorry. The coterie continue walking. As they do so, and I hope this is the right one,
It's always gotta be werewolves.
Because someone fired a gun off in the middle of London on Christmas Eve at night when it was silent. And a 9-foot tall, salivating, ginormous, monstrously well-built man-wolf comes charging at the coterie behind you. I'm so sorry. What you gonna do?
What's our surroundings like? I'm curious.
You're down a small
Wrestling
alleyway. There are 4 turnbuckles in each corner.
Okay.
Yeah, man wolf, not a wolf man.
I'll be clever about it.
Oh, now he chooses to be clever.
Oh yeah.
You said we're in an alleyway?
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be a
No, no,
wide
that-
alleyway to have this massive creature coming charging towards you.
We don't have to worry about the masquerade necessarily, because
No, correct. It is. It was deserted until that happened.
look it in the eyes. Don't want to try to dominate. Yeah, so we all hear this thing and see it thundering to spit. Is it just one?
Just one. It is just one. Full-sized, adult, mature lupine.
So Drake, you got this.
You can see he's conflicted because he's like, there are more important things to be getting on with, but he kind of does want to tangle with a werewolf just to see how well we would do.
Oh no, that wasn't a question. So Drake, you got this.
We're about to fucking find out.
All right.
Reach into my pocket with the silverware, grab out the first thing that my fingers grab, which happens to be a spoon, and hand it to Sir Drake.
Look at the spoon.
Well, this is the wrong spoon. You start from the outside and work your way in, but thank you.
And I'll give it back again.
I'd be happy with a piece of silverware.
There is
I've
no
got a
I
single
hand
point
the
in it.
spoon to the inspector.
Thank you.
Let's.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
I am a little bit, because, yeah.
It's an alley, yeah?
Yeah. Although I don't know the werewolf's name.
That's fine. It's coming.
It could be Ali.
And it's coming at us.
Yeah.
Coming straight for us.
Yeah.
Aldrich, well, depending on, are there people running or are people staying?
I kind of know what you're all going to do before I make a move.
Well, as long as Sir Drake is standing and engaging, I'll stay.
Aldrich will get behind people, but if there's people straight up leaving, he won't leave. But anyone staying, he's gonna put between him and the.
Who's between me and the lupine?
I assume we're just sort of in like a cluster right now. So
Yeah.
I assume
Cool.
Drake and Inspector are being frontline right now. Aldrich's moving towards the back. I don't know if people are staying or leaving.
As I'm running away, I will yell out to the werewolf, Bad dog, bad dog, bad dog! You should go away. Lay down, and I'll blood surge and cast dementation.
Good move.
I know.
That is genuinely a good
Running
move.
So there's the blood surge.
Okay. Do dementation, and then do the rouse check for dementation.
Yeah.
And was it intelligence and resolve?
Hmm.
Just double check.
I might
Science
roll
death.
one of those. Hunger game.
Last beat. Dementation is composure and intelligence.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's that. Yeah, composure and intelligence.
And you rolled. Ooh. Phew.
I rolled a 4. I might reroll at 3.
Yeah.
It won't matter though. But I'm gonna. In this
I mean,
instance, I
every
would.
little helps.
Yeah. Okay, just 4.
Okay. Alistair utters the words as he bravely and wisely takes shelter behind a corner out of the sight of the werewolf. Next.
I would like to start singing Jingle Bells. No, wait, one more. I don't think that's a good idea. Okay, I'm gonna start singing Jingle Bells. Jingle bloody bells, you bastard! At the werewolf.
The lesser known version, yes. And it's going to try and dodge the incoming sonic boom.
Man, I can't wait to see this wolf dodge a sound wave.
Well, you just did.
Of course you fucking did.
The sound wave leaves Eveline's mouth and travels down the alleyway, picking up pieces of snow off the floor and roof as it goes. The werewolf sees it coming and leaps over the top of the sound wave to safety. Who's next?
I think having seen that. Actually, no. First, do you want to go?
No, good.
No, that's fine. Having seen him leap over the top of it, so Drake's gonna Dark Souls roll around and try and hit him in the back before taking off down the alley.
Strength
Have
melee.
any blood surgeon for this one, definitely.
And I think as you're going to be coming towards it, it's not going to be able to help itself and just try and claw at you.
Oh yeah, lovely. All right. Add. Oh, is my it is +2 at this level. I'll take all. Oh, could have got some more with that. Ow.
You want to stick with it or reroll?
I'm gonna re-roll, I think. Yeah.
And so am I.
Yeah.
It's 1. Oh shit, that was the wrong roll, but we'll stick with it for now. So Drake attempts to roll betwixt the huge salivating monster's legs and stab it in the back. Unfortunately, the monster is far, far too fast for him and strikes down with its elongated claws, slicing along his back, and you take 4 superficial damage.
Oh, that's the wrong track I'm clicking on. Okay. Okay.
Next.
Would I be able to throw the spoon as an improvised weapon?
Yes, but it's not going to do much of anything at this point.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because you've got a... Now, I might be wrong on this interpretation, and I'm certainly open to interpretation, but werewolves only suffer aggravated damage from silver weapons. I would assume that you've still got to get it from superficial damage first. And then you can start doing aggravated damage with silver.
Great. Sharpen the spoon.
I think
you've got to tenderize the meat, and then you can use the silver on it.
Well, I think, I mean, yes, I'm pretty sure silver does aggravated damage. The problem is, I need to really make contact with his skin, so if the spoon's just going to hit his fur and bounce off, I don't think that would be significant enough to actually hurt him.
Sharp on the edge, wouldn't
Now, if he were to grab the spoon and try to use it, it might be a little uncomfortable for him. But, yeah, okay.
Here comes the airplane!
Exactly what I was thinking.
You know what? I'm going to do it anyways, and then I'm going to complain that it doesn't work.
Right. You're just
So I'm going to go ahead.
Chuck the spoon.
Wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, I will...
You know, investigators
he
always
aimed
looking
for its
for their
eye.
next big scoop.
It says silver hurts him from contact, but it says like per turn of contact. So I assume you have to like hold the silver into them. I don't think bouncing like your rule.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to
bouncing off him would do anything. If you ran up and held that spoon into his eye, just ride it.
I like Miss Hart's suggestion. I want to do a cold shot for the eye with the spoon.
Cold shot for the... Are you chucking it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Like his throwing knife, but with a spoon.
Do you want me to put like a negative modifier on
No,
this?
no, I know how to do them now. It's gonna,
Okay.
it's increased when you're doing a ranged attack. Basically it increases the difficulty to hit by 2 when you're doing a ranged attack.
Okay,
It's the
I will.
simplest way to
I'll
explain
blood
it.
surge for this too, because
It's
why
going to be
the hell
dexterity and
not?
athletics.
Blood searching for something you know isn't going to work.
If he does it with a spoon,
Yes,
amazing.
if it works though. Okay.
And this is just so he can put on his OnlyFans, I spooned a werewolf.
Yeah.
Hits.
No.
Ah, nice.
Just barely too, I think.
And so it takes 1 aggravated damage from the silver.
Oh,
In
I'm
its
happy.
eye.
Amazing.
In its eye. And lets out a howl of pain as the spoon... Oh no, because this is a cold shot as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that the spoon is embedded into the eye socket.
Ooh.
Because, because it's a cold shot, you should get a bit more than just, you hit and exactly did what you wanted. You should get a bit more. So the spoon is now embedded in this lupine's eye, and you can see smoke singeing off into the night sky from it.
I'd like to give the inspector a little high five.
I give a high five. Like, those spoons are quite effective.
While it is writhing in pain, I would like to turn invisible and run away.
Would you be able to do that with all these people around? Would anyone be looking at you?
You could run away first and then turn.
Get throw away and hide.
Yeah, and when I say I want to run away, I specifically want to use, I was just looking at it, where was it? I want to use soaring leap, because I can leap horizontally 5 meters at a time to go faster.
You want to leap onto one of the rooftops?
No, I just want to leap, like
You can
almost
lead
power
a horse to
gliding.
water, but you can't make it fucking drink, can you?
No, yeah, like
You can leave a kindred to a rooftop, but you can't make it jump.
Yes, I
Like,
would
the
like to
storyteller
jump
says, you want to
the
jump to the rooftop because that might be a really good idea. No, you're alright. I'm just going to go around the corner.
No, I thought you were misinterpreting what I was asking.
Well, I've got to start speaking Japanese to you so you know when it's a question and when it isn't.
Probably.
Would you like to jump on the rooftop, Kana?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, you don't. I don't think you need. Yeah, actually, go on. Do dexterity and athletics for me.
Okay, I'll go ahead and block that up there too.
Would you like success at cost, or would you like to re-roll?
I'll do success at cost.
Okay. Thurston turns his back to the massive lupine that is wreathing in agony and pain. Unfortunately, as he does so, the lupine is able to get off a slight nick on his back, and you take 2 superficial damage, but you are able to successfully leap up onto the rooftop into relative safety. Aldrich.
To be that person. Aren't werewolves? Don't they do aggravated?
Don't tell him that.
No. Werewolves gain claws and teeth that deal non-halved superficial damage with a +3 damage modifier.
I was thinking mage rules. For some reason they're like magic claws.
They definitely get aggravated in V20. I guess it's different for V5.
V5, they were like, let's give him a fucking chance.
Yeah, I'm heading around the corner. And I'm gonna redistribute some things to get battle ready if I need to be.
Okay.
I'm probably in that same corner, like, scary, isn't it?
I do not get hungry.
Wonderful. And you of all people know how you want to distribute your dots. Which brings us to Larry Lupine. I don't want to do it, but I don't see much other choice. Because the only person who's actually in striking... Oh no, he has actually struck.
He already attacked me already.
He did.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
He did.
Yeah.
Which brings us back round to Alistair. Would you like to do anything, or are you good where you are?
I'm good where I am. I might throw a rock, but I'm going to miss on purpose, so I don't need to roll anything. Just, like, not even look around, just, like, chuck it around the thing.
Okay. You can, if you want to do demontation, you could do demontation.
I'm at 4 hunger, no thanks. Thurston Thurston has a rock bounce and hit the side of his foot.
Fair enough. Eveline.
Because I threw the rock,
Close
so it
is the werewolf.
missed. It bounced and hit your foot.
I mean,
I'm up on a roof though.
it's
Oh, I didn't throw it.
it's strikeable range.
I would like to stab it with a silver fork from my pocket.
Strength, brawl. And it's going to try and dodge.
It would be brawl and not melee?
It would be strength and melee. I told you I'm very tired. I'm so sorry. Thank you for calling me out on that. You're absolutely right.
Really, I have better...
You can take the mishearts away from the Bonner Akeem, but you can't take the Bonner Akeem away from the mishearts.
Sticking with it?
That hits, doesn't it?
Yeah. But you could roll the 4, and if you get a success, it increases
Oh,
damage
yeah.
by 1.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
every little
I'll,
helps.
I'll re-roll it. No.
Okay. With a fork, you say?
With fork, yeah.
Okay.
The spoon was
Eveline.
already used.
Oh, of course. Forgive my etiquette. Eveline pulls out a silver fork and attempts to stab at the werewolf's massive body. As it's writhing around in pain still and distracted by Sir Drake at its feet, she is able to successfully stab the small fork into its body and pulls it quickly out. I'm not going to say that does an aggravated damage. So Drake,
Stay.
I am so tempted. If I was ever going to take a werewolf, it's now. Yeah, it could go either way. I'm going to activate Prowess from Pain. And yeah, I'm going to attack it.
Okay.
Got to remember how many dice this gives me again now. And I'll blood surge when I attack it as well. Let me hang on. Let me do this first. 3.
so 1 rouse check for the blood surge. And it's going to be lovely.
Alright, so I've got to figure
So
out
however-
to take them for.
Yeah, so increase whatever dots you want.
Oh, I know which one that's going in, yeah. For it's more than 6 plus for blood surge, so that's
Got 8.
yeah, so I've got to add another 4 and then a +1. Not even there. Whoo! Yeah, that'll do it. Alright. That is a +7 to this roll.
And yeah, it's because you're the only one. Actually, no, he's going to try and dodge. Okay. So Drake wills Vitae around his body. His eyes begin to glow red with blood. As he lets out a small growl, he starts to unleash his fury upon the lupine who tries to dodge out of the way of the incoming blade. The lupine is unable to move out of the way of every single incoming strike and is struck several times upon his massive body. Blood seeps out onto the snow-trodden floor, and its breathing becomes strained and heavier. Inspector Grey.
I guess I will just throw a regular old knife now.
Okay, dexterity, athletics. Guess is going to try and dodge. That's fine. Inspector Grey pulls out one of his knives once more, and without a moment's hesitation, throws it directly at the massive beast. It embeds itself into the thick hide, but the beast does not even scream in pain. Thurston, if you've got any action you want to do, you just want to cheer on from the rooftop.
I don't even want to do that because I don't want this thing to know I'm up here.
In that case, do wits and awareness for me, please.
Oh, okay. I can do that. Hold on. Oops, no, I need to click awareness first. Awareness.
Do you want to re-roll the 0?
Yeah. I typed
Wonderful.
in 1. Hold on.
Yeah,
Oh,
1 and 5 are very similar numbers. I can understand how you type that.
I hit willpower instead of WP reroll the button.
What you want
under
to do is you want to
willpower.
hit the WP reroll button that's underneath the willpower tracker.
Alright, that's better.
So it's still a messy critical.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's a 3.
Oh shit.
4
yeah.
successes.
Yeah,
I
that's fine.
almost panicked there. I'm like, huh?
Thurston takes in his surroundings and notices across from one of the rooftops, he can see a very strange figure. Several deer attached to a sleigh. Aldrich!
I attack the storyteller.
He's blatantly
Blood surge.
This point, well, Alistair would have seen the whole thing. I'm going to charge down the alleyway at this creature. In my horrid form. Which Alistair would have seen. They turn the corner, sort of focus and close his eyes, and he would start saying those demon words. Which I don't know off the top of my head, but he would start just saying those until they just become guttural. As you would see his form just bubble and bulge. He becomes massive and an almost ape-like physique, with both his hands now being like almost like Hellboy gauntlets, just really thick, covered in bones, all the way up to the hands and forearms. And his skin taking this sort of reddish tint, as even horns start to push through on his forehead, as his ears sort of get pulled into his skull, disappearing completely. And his eyes are closed and sort of mashed together, and this one large eye opens up instead on his forehead. Followed by another, and another, and another, as little eyes start opening all over his body. So you guys would see this almost like this demonic Hellboy ape-looking creature just go tearing down the alleyway towards the werewolf. Oh, and I have enough things because I don't really need to distribute that much physical tributes. I'm going to do an extra set of arms, possible. So it looks like that's something I can do.
Andy.
So I would have four arms. Just using those to sort of run on all six now, I guess. Just propelling myself down. I just want to launch myself at this thing. My
Just
bony
peek out and I
gauntlets.
go, Aldrich?
Do strength and brawl for me, please, King Coldrick. And this werewolf is going to be trying to get out of the way because it's more like, what the fuck is this thing?
I'm going to blood surge this too.
No, nice.
Actually, because I can, I'm gonna re-roll 3 of those. 3 and 2 4s. So 10 total.
Okay.
Is the werewolf gonna reroll?
No.
And those have a plus. I don't know how you want to rule it, but they would have the plus for the weapons as well.
I mean, are they made of silver or fire?
No.
Okay. Aldrich, the figure that was once known as Aldrich, comes charging out, unleashing literal hell and fury upon the werewolf, battering it into its hide, pounding over and over, smashing into wound upon wound. However, strangely enough to him, it seems to completely leave the werewolf unfazed. And it goes to the werewolf, who's going to heal. And it heals. The werewolf now takes its turn.
Peter! Why is Nitro blurred out like he really did run away?
He's currently watching some of that hentai.
Oh. Oh, that's not nitro. It's actually a penis.
Nitro cast obviously is partially effective. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Larry Lupine is going to look at this monstrosity in front of him and attempt to claw, bite, and eviscerate it. Would you like to dodge? As if that's a question. King Coldrick.
Can't I do like a just opposed brawl? Like when the combat, just us doing
Yes.
our combat dice pools against each other. So with
Yes. But that would mean that you wouldn't be able to take a turn on the next go, but trust me, that's fine.
So instead of him dodging, wouldn't it be his attack versus my attack? Or are you doing? I don't know how you're doing it.
Yeah. Do strength and brawl versus his strength and brawl. Damn.
Oh, excellent.
So that's going to take off his 1 superficial damage and do nothing else because not silver or fire. The two giant monsters exchange blows, hammering into each other like gigantic titans of old. Snow, blood, and fur is whipped up in the frenzy. The werewolf is unable to get advantage over the monstrous entity known as Aldrich, but is also able to brush off any blow that Aldrich lands upon him. The gathered vampires prepare for another round to destroy this creature in front of them, when suddenly a beam of light is blasted down the alleyway. They are all frozen in place and blinded, but hear the footsteps of another. They hear a sword unsheathed, and it slices through the air, followed by a wet thud. And no longer do they hear growling. Moments later, as they hear footsteps echo off into the alleyway, the light is gone, and they are no longer blinded, and instead presented in front of them is a headless corpse of a messed up, bloodied werewolf.
No fair, we had that.
Mithras just KS us.
Ah,
I was gonna say, should I didn't know if you were gonna give that to us or not. I was actually gonna try to figure out if it was Mithras. That's funny.
I mean,
obvious at this point.
yeah, meta you'd know.
Yeah, but
Whether or not your characters would be able to work it out is entirely up to you.
I think so. I mean, after we were told that Mithras was hunting werewolves, obvious.
oh, okay, yeah.
I could have taken it.
This kind of looks dejected. In the blood, putting the sword back in.
Well, I suppose we better go find your magic time fairy.
Hey guys, there's something concerning up here.
Is that it?
I mean, I could tell you, but you wouldn't believe me.
What is it, Thurston?
I
Aldrich's
believe I
just
found-
gonna King Kong up there.
I believe I've located Santa Claus.
Was he?
Thanks for helping with the werewolf.
And at this point, we'll take a break. So we should be right back and see what they're going to do with Santa Claus.
Fucking Santa Claus. Have any of you guys read the Dresden Files?
And then, yeah, start making my way back up and towards them. I take a few moments.
Up on the rooftop, quick, quick, quick.
Here it comes.
So we can take down old Saint Nick.
I will follow along closely.
You're approaching the house. You see all the lights are out. But common sense would dictate to you that Father Christmas wouldn't be visiting an empty, abandoned house. There are clearly someone inside of it, receiving gifts. The house is locked.
Maybe we should try the chimney.
I can open the door.
Everyone has iron, yes?
I'll hold up my iron spike. Courtesies of Aldrich, of course.
Same.
Got
I roll
something.
my eyes and pull out my horseshoe, and I'm holding it. Like, the only way you could hold it to punch somebody with it.
Is the sleigh and reindeer on the roof?
Yep.
So I mean, Aldrich in this form's not going to go on the street, so he's going to go roof to roof if possible. And in this state, he's kind of like the gangrel compulsion. It seems like just sort of monstrous. He's just going to start taking out the escape route. He's just going to start swinging at these reindeer with these iron bars.
Yeah, no problem. That's going to be a free action. And you're doing it so fast and so furiously that Vin Diesel know that they don't even have enough time to shout out any kind of reaction. And there's just this bloody smear of antler parts and hooves all across the roof. Oh, I'm the
Even
one
really?
doing it.
Well, quickly take out the long iron spike I've presumably been given. Take the cross guards off of the katana, slide it off, and put it over the iron spike, and then wrap some of the wraps around the handle and fashion like an iron rapier out of it.
Man, that should do it.
Look over to Thurston.
Can you get us in? Or you, I'm not playing favourites.
No, like I already said.
Yeah, Alistair, you're much greater at this than I am. You go ahead.
I was curious because I already said out loud I could do this. I look at Sir Drake. Pay attention.
I was, fine. Sorry.
By the way, before leaving the werewolf, I grabbed the spoon. And I still have the fork.
Yeah, you don't want the fork to
Spoon?
run away with the spoon. It was in his eye.
Yeah.
I think Mithras stole that.
He has the head right. So then Mythos has my spoon.
Oh,
You
he
should
has
feel
the head.
honored.
Okay, well then I guess I can't grab this.
You should feel honored. Mithras has your spoon.
Just know it now. I can see
Well-
it fucking coming. The scene when you finally meet Mithras. There's this huge, imposing, godlike figure. And then Inspector Grey goes up. You got my fucking spoon, mate.
Yeah.
Easter,
Yeah.
may I have my spoon?
Evelyn has the rest of the silverware kit. Well, like, our silverware is missing that stolen spoon. Could you please return it?
Excuse me, are you the kill-stealing fucktard Prince of London?
Somehow it just got
He
worse
just
than asking for a
snaps
spoon.
Yeah.
And we're all dead.
Dexterity larceny on the door, please, Alistair.
Sure. I should really up my dex. 2.
That's fine. The door clicks under your skillful guided hands and opens up to reveal a modest but still somewhat squalid house. It is empty downstairs and things are tidied away. You can see the pathetic excuse of a Christmas tree, more like a twig with barely any needles, propped up in a corner of one room with a fireplace next to it.
Say, wait, hold on 1 second. I go and move a chair. Okay, it's not an illusion. We're good.
Thurston, what did you say you saw?
It was a sleigh and deer. I just saw the sleigh and the deer. I didn't actually see the figure. I mean, unless somebody keeps reindeer on their roofs, then this has to be the only logical outcome I could unfortunately come up with is Santa Claus.
You're sure you're not the Malkavian?
Honestly, who puts reindeer on their roof? That just sounds tacky.
Did we...
By now, Aldrich would be finished with that, maybe? You said didn't.
Oh yeah, that's not going to take you long in that form.
I wanted to linger on the street. Yeah, he would just hop down, covered in reindeer guts, and probably have to push himself, maybe even breaking the door frame a little, just going in. I just want to be using heightened senses to listen for any movement anywhere and immediately go towards it if I hear anything.
I would not be inside, by the way. I would be standing in the door.
Okay.
Can't go in without being invited.
Forgot about it. Love it.
I would...
I usually get around that by holding Aldrich's arm, and so he's the one inviting me in, but...
And, is Aldrich where we are, or not?
Yeah, Aldrich's just
Yeah.
managed to
He's
force
right with
himself
us.
in.
Okay, so right before Aldrich comes in, I'm going to ask, have we taken a look or inspected those deer to see if there's something Fey-like? And then Aldrich would come in. And I'm like,
God, man,
Oh.
you should cover yourself up. You're a walking masquerade breach.
I have to agree with them and look at me.
Look at him
fuck.
in vague recognition of what he's saying. And I just immediately go to...
Is there
If
drapes
you-
on the windows?
Although, no, you know what? I don't have ears at the moment. So you'd probably have to take a moment and concentrate, and the
Oh.
ears would form back on the side of his head. Then he begins to listen. Seeing that he's...
Cover yourself up. You're a walking masquerade breach.
I suppose he just can't be seen then, and everything will be fine.
I wonder if Mithras saw him. Oh God. I hope that's okay what you did.
Well, Mithras probably won't recognize him.
Yeah, the Mithras will just think he's some abomination of some kind. And
Oh, he
Yeah,
must
no.
really think we're awesome then, because we were fighting a werewolf and an abomination.
We? Okay.
So, Drake, did you see the amount of pain I put that werewolf in? With just a silver spoon, might I add.
I actually have to give you some credit. I was impressive.
Speaking
Thank you.
of silverware, where is Evelyn?
I'm just standing at the door looking in.
Evelyn, just come on in. What are you waiting for?
Okay, thank you. Did I step into the room?
I would like to look around or listen and see if I can find any signs of this presumed Santa Claus.
Wonderful. Inspector Gray begins to
Finally.
Inspector Gray begins to shuffle around the room, trying to find evidence of his quarry. It doesn't take long until the entire coterie feel themselves frozen in place, unable to move no matter what they try.
Can I blink?
I mean, your eyes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would do that a bunch, because that's the only thing I can do.
When suddenly a large creature with 4 legs along an elongated, strange insect-like body, but clearly made of human flesh, scuttles along the floor. Its thorax is huge, wide and draped in a long brown coat that drags along the floor. Upon his back, however, is some kind of sack that is seemingly fused to his fleshy back. His head is almost entirely obscured by a brown hood, with a strange ball of white fluff at the end. The coterie can hear his heavy breathing through his drooling mouth, filled with jagged teeth. He looks at each member of the coterie, and you hear him exhale the words,
Evelyn. Good. Alistair. Bad. Aldrich. Naughty. Very naughty.
and then pounces on Aldrich.
Here we go.
Can we do anything?
Oh yeah, we'll get. Don't worry, you'll get.
Is this Krampus? Close enough, right?
The creature pounces upon Aldrich and slams its fist onto the floor. The entire floor gives way, and the coterie find themselves in a strange basement-like, huge open area. Despite them being disoriented, they are not injured, and when they look up, they see the ceiling is still in pristine condition. The monster backs away, bares its huge, jagged teeth at the coterie, and prepares to battle. Who would like to go first?
I would like to grapple it down first. Make it easier for everyone else.
Right, yep.
Get my 4 meaty arms around it.
Strength, brawl. And all it can do is try and fight you off with its own strength, brawl.
Surging. Wow. It's catching up with me. We'll power that.
I'm going to reroll because I hardly ever get to reroll. Oh, and so did you. So, the 2, the 5, and the 3.
I like how it's the spirit of Christmas.
That still goes to Aldrich, who is able to successfully subdue the creature, even though it fights him tooth and claw, literally. Who would be next?
There's a fireplace. Is there a fire poker near?
No, you are. Oh, actually, yeah. Yeah, I like that idea. I'm going to let you have that. There would be a fire poker that has dropped through the floor suspiciously into the basement. How convenient for you.
Thank you. I just
Merry
pick it up and
Christmas.
start poking them. Yeah, I just start poking them.
Yeah, strength, melee.
We still have our iron rods, right?
Yeah.
I never had one. I never grabbed one.
And because it's
Remember,
broad,
I never spoke up about that.
Because it's broad, because it's grappled, it can't really dodge. So you're free to just go for it.
Cool. 0.
Okay. Can't re-roll either, sadly. Alistair just
Basically, go to poke
strides
and I'm
up.
poking the floor.
Strides up to the creature and gently prods it with an iron rod, attempting to see what kind of effect it has. The creature
Mostly
seems
like this.
adverse to the touch, but it, however, does not scream out in pain. Who's next?
Not in hurt pain, more like pleasure pain.
Could I chuck my wrought iron like a javelin or something?
Javelin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will do that.
Dexterity and athletics, please.
Sure, I will also surge.
Because it's grappled, that is actually going to be slightly increased difficulty shot.
Okay.
Me.
Just. Inspector Grey flips around the iron rod in his hand and holds it high above his head and throws it like a javelin piercing through the dusty interior of the basement, embedding itself upon the strange creature's body and impaling it. And you do 1 aggravated damage.
All right.
On Steam.
No, go on, Emma's answer.
I was gonna say, on seeing that, I take my iron rod and attempt to stab him with it while singing "Here Comes Santa Claus."
Okay. I
Now, I do want to say, trying to find any way to put in Christmas songs. That's mostly for flavor, but since singing is my specialty, does that give me a modifier?
But let her focus better.
Just stabbing it, no.
Okay, I didn't think
because
so, but I
Because
figured
your
I'd
roll's going to be
ask.
strength melee. The
I didn't think
singing's
so,
just
but I figured I'd ask.
the singing's just pleasant.
It's just flavor.
Yeah. Fucking hell, spells.
Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus.
And she wanted a bonus dice for this as well, you know. Eveline marches up to the creature, singing in her stride as she does so, fiercely gripping her iron bar and smashing it repeatedly into the creature's thorax, blood spilling out onto the floor. She becomes slightly too
Here comes Santa
overconfident, though, in her barrage, wandering in too close, and the creature is able to get a small bite off on her flesh and inflicts, let's call it, 2 superficial damage to Eveline's pristine porcelain skin. Next.
Gonna activate Pronouncement Pain again, because I'm sitting at 4 damage, so I might as well take advantage of the fact.
I believe how quickly you're tearing this thing apart, I have to say.
Alright, that's fine. And then... Oh no, wait, roll it without the hunger first, whatever my next
Yeah,
thing
you
is, and
apply
then
the
add
hunger
it
after you've done the discipline roll.
Okay.
I'm sure that's going to be coming up in a forthcoming Table Goth tutorial video.
Although, actually, to be fair, all this is to activate it, and then the attack is a separate thing. So
Oh well, yeah.
that's probably just it's not part of it's not a power that powers me up and then I attack. Those are two separate things, I guess. Yeah. So I'd take the makeshift rapier and like formal stance because I haven't used a rapier in a while.
This is for all the fucking coal.
Run in and try and stab it.
Breaks the belly,
I never-
and it's grappled, so it can't do shit. Sir Drake charges forth and impales the creature through its head, slicing it in two along its jawline. The creature twitches and spasms for a few moments afterwards as its decapitated head falls to the concrete floor with a wet splat. The creature lets out a final painful shriek, and the flesh begins to melt away from its bones. A bright explosion fills the coteries' eyes. All becomes white as they feel their bodies ascend into air. A mere fraction of a second later, they materialize outside the house of Whitechapel under a warm summer night. A man on a horse stops in front of the coterie and hands them a telegram, wordlessly, before mounting the horse and trotting away onto the streets of the city.
Telegram says we have to go back to 1885.
Am I still holding the poker?
Yep.
I drop it. You're clank. I kind of scoot it off to the side. You're clank, and like a
Well, I've
scraper
still
across the
got
ground.
Santa Claus guts or brains, I suppose, on my
Anything to
iron
do
poker.
with the spirit of Christmas has dematerialized.
I was gonna give it to Aldrich. Never mind. All right.
Well, that's
Aldrich's
fucking stupid.
extra limbs will kind of fold in. All the eyes start closing. The extra muscle starts being pushed back, and he starts rearranging himself. Back to bad Aldrich. That was worse Aldrich. Completely clothed though, because I can do that. I can essentially just put my new mass around. I made sure to put it around my clothes before growing instead of ripping through my clothes. So it'd probably be weird and wet and disheveled, but they're on.
Did you have fun?
Oh, that was a trip. Yeah, that was good on you, all of you. Are we back?
I think so. It's warm.
Hey, House,
we're
are
lu-
we back?
We're lucky that it dropped us off in the middle of the night.
Oh, that was generous.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Sweet
Did
home.
we kill the Santa Claus?
Yes.
Ah. Wow.
We killed Santa Claus. We killed Santa Claus.
Having the horseshoe in my hand, I just look at it. For another day, I suppose, and I put it back in my pocket.
Let's kill Santa Claus and a werewolf. What happened with the werewolf, by the way? I had it, and then it was.
Well, probably something we shouldn't say out in the streets.
Thurston, who did you say had those annual hunts? You mentioned it in the
It's something I
graveyard.
shouldn't say out on the street.
Indeed.
Oh, very well.
All right, let's
very
go
well.
inside. Go inside. Let's have a talk.
No one wants to read the telegram then that just suddenly appeared.
Oh, yes.
You know,
We read the telegram.
We didn't say who you gave it to the telegram to, so
We all leave it.
as far as I know, it's on the ground.
I'll pick it up and read it.
He held it out for a second, nobody took it, so he just dropped it and left.
it's your fucking telegram.
He's a Hermes driver. Have that.
I like the fact that you think a Hermes driver's even going to bother finding the right place to go to. Who would like to read it or open it?
I'll read it.
Yeah.
You can read.
To the mysterious and out-of-place coterie. If my calculations are correct, then you should receive this telegram shortly after your return. If so, then you have been successful in dispatching the Fae known as the Father of Christmas. Few presents were received that year by the poor, and the death cry of the creature was of such power that it has scarred the kind from now and all time. When the kind depict this figure in their own mythology, he shall be wearing red to represent the blood, his blood, that you spilled that night. Kind shall no longer feel the spirit of the season, and its meaning will slowly slip out of their consciousness. But at least you made it back safely. After all, what matter the consequences of our actions, as long as we get what we want, right, young child?
Wait, what does he mean by our? He didn't do anything.
He set us up.
Wait, sorry, this is a meta question. Did vampires celebrate Christmas and we just ruined it for them?
You ruined Christmas for everyone.
So for the kind, not the kindred.
Yeah, he said kind.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Dog.
I mean,
Pay attention.
I mixed the K words up, okay?
Christmas was getting too commercial anyway.
but
At
now
first, it
it's,
sounded sarcastic, but I think Aldo might have meant it. I think that might have been a congratulations telegram. We should hang that up inside.
Oh, I'll take it home and hang it up, thanks. And I do that.
Okay. Somebody else
Later
taking
on.
credit for somebody else taking.
it's
Isn't
okay.
that what he did the last time with the Fae? Just disappeared and let us deal with it?
He really doesn't like the Fae, does he?
I really don't like him anymore.
Yeah, so Drake, if you want the credit for ending Christmas for all, you're more than welcome to it.
Will make people think twice about messing with me in the street, at least. Yeah. Oh, God. I think all this time traveling is getting... And I didn't even know we could get... What now?
I think we have to kill the Pumpkin King next.
Yes, what other important holidays are there that we can decimate?
Easter Bunny.
Does
Ah,
this
yes,
mean we have to be
Easter.
Santa now?
God, I
think-
hope not. I look terrible in red.
Well, I think only if you're bitten by the Santa Claus.
Fuck!
Well, Drake, we've been trying to see if you can turn into things, right? You're the one that defeated him, right? Can you turn into him now?
Oh, yes.
Not sure I'd want to.
But perhaps the Santa Claus, the spirit of Christmas, is like a mantle. And when killing it, that mantle would have to go somewhere else. Maybe you can become the next Santa Claus.
I was going to say you can get you flying deer or whatever.
If I grow a beard, I'll let you know. Fair?
Very well, very
To
well.
work on making him jolly.
Oh, that thing called me naughty. I think it meant that.
Well, you showed it.
Why did he say I was bad?
I don't know, why did he say you were bad? Is there something you're not telling us?
Alistair's pretty upfront with us. I don't think he's hiding anything.
I don't know if you know this, but even if I try to hide something, it just kind of slips out sometimes.
It's true.
Well, I
As a
mean,
Nosferatu, I fully understand that sentiment.
Alistair can't be that bad. I mean, when the Christmas spirit looked at Aldrich, it said he was very, very naughty, and then attacked him. He didn't even lunge at Alistair.
He went on and on. It felt quite attacked by that.
Well, you showed him certainly, Alistair. I mean,
Fair.
Aldrich.
To be fair, Aldrich sells drugs and women and stole a man's identity.
I suppose that could set off the spirit of Christmas, surely.
What did happen to other Aldrich? I need to look him up. I'm gonna check my pockets. Do I still have papers?
Yep.
Inspector, you think I could put you on this? Figure out who the fuck was pretending to be me?
Sure, I could look into it.
Oh, I'll hand him the stuff.
Well, if the Santa Claus, I guess I'm having a hard time believing that horrendous thing had such a moniker. If Aldrich was naughty, but Alistair was just bad, I can't imagine that Alistair can get up to much of anything in his free time. If you were just bad and not naughty, that means you aren't like a serial killer going around murdering people, right?
Yeah, surely
Technically, aren't we all serial killers?
In a sense.
Speaking of, I'm a
serial
bit
usually.
peckish.
Yeah,
I
serial
mean,
usually
have you
means
ever
adding of some kind.
went to feed on somebody randomly and not gotten their consent, and then oops?
Thurston, that sounds like every time you try to feed, especially there for a while.
You bring up a good point. I believe that's happened to Evelyn as well, but the spirit of Christmas said she was rather good, so the lives of kind must not matter.
So, I mean, to answer your question, Thurston, yeah, I kill people.
We all do, Thurston, including yourself.
Well, I think what it was is I think that creature was trying to get in our heads by just tearing down and making the rest of the group look to the leaders as less than ideal. It almost worked.
I mean, getting our heads, it didn't even mention me.
Right, no, it picked the strongest of the coterie and tried to tear us down.
Clearly, and I think it's important that, as Alistair was saying, it's food. I mean, the spirit of Christmas isn't going to judge us for how we treat our food. I don't think that's part of the equation. It's how we treat others.
Morality is relative.
Precisely.
Yeah, but isn't it weird that we all have this thing that ties us back to our old reality, yet we just willy-nilly go feed on somebody and accidentally kill them sometimes? With no thought about it?
All this talk of food is really making me hungry.
I've been hungry.
Yes,
I just don't complain about it.
Let's get something to eat. I'm quite famished myself.
All right, let's go get some I'm gonna swing by good Aldrich's place to see if what it's like now.
Would you be able to find it?
You would take it in there, right?
We did take the carriage from there.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, because specifically when we were figuring out where to go, we were gonna go to Sir Drake's, but I said we should go to Aldrich's because I wanted to see where he was.
You find your carriage, neatly decorated, not a speck of dust upon it. Your regular driver tips his hat to you.
Is the chandelier in there?
Yes. No, the chandelier is not in there.
Frenzy check.
That's what you get when you go in the carriage first and you don't go home. Anything you wish to discuss on the carriage ride, or would you like to just swing by good Aldrich's place?
I'm still humming Christmas carols.
I suppose we could go to good Aldrich's place unless we wanted to stop to get a bite to eat first. Otherwise, yeah, Aldrich's.
Which would you like to do
we could
first?
just go feeding later.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I was just gonna go on my own. You guys can feed if you
Yeah,
or if you want to.
I mean,
we
I'll
can
tell
just
you
do
what.
quick feeding stuff later. We don't have to be.
I'll tell you what, because you're going to be able to find good Aldrich's place, and it just looks like an empty house. Lights are off. There's no carriage outside. It doesn't seem run down, but it's only been a few months.
Was Dirk Venture?
Dirk is a Sombra.
No,
A
Yeah.
Sabra. Close.
Alistair, can you do that thing where you touch something and you see everything that's going on with it?
I can. What do you want me to touch?
Maybe the front door. He has to use that to get in and out.
Okay.
Show me
Take
Spirit's
this
touch.
one. Hold on one second.
Do rouse check and intelligence.
Is it rouse
aspect,
first?
please. Now do the
I'm at
power, and
500.
then after you've done the power, add the hunger on. Okay, 500, got it.
Gotcha. Okay. 4. And I'm at 5 hunger. But that's fine. We're going
You'll be able to touch the door, and from doing so, you discern it hasn't been used in some time. Probably since middle of December. And you merely get the emotional sense of confidence mixed with slight confusion.
That would be wrong, though, because we used that door Christmas Eve.
I mean,
But would we say that's the last time I used the door, basically, is when he left the day we were there?
yeah, I mean, you
Like, I
wanted
wouldn't get
specific
anything
information.
sooner?
I didn't think you wanted information on the coterie, but if you want, I can give you the
No,
information on the
but
coterie.
we know he left the house,
Yeah.
right? So that's my point. If you're giving me a date, if that's part of the information, I would just assume when he left, he left. He's never been back since, right?
Correct.
Nobody ever came back in. I would tell Aldrich that.
It's a shame. Quite liked him.
You ever wondered if he was just, I don't know, like the spirit of Christmas?
Good Aldrich.
Yeah, like what if he wasn't real? I mean, think about what we just did.
Maybe.
Are you calling
Hey.
it an angel?
No. I mean, did you see what Santa looked like?
I thought it was
just saying.
involved with those demon folk, to be honest.
We're a little crazy. Sometimes we need somebody to just take our hands and put us on the right path. And
Yes.
yes, so
You.
Thank you, Peanut Gallery.
Wait, that might have been yes to him being involved with the demon folk.
no, I think it was yes to the fact that we're a little bit crazy and need our hand held.
Yes.
Yeah. It was just odd that he was conveniently there and had everything we needed, especially a place to stay.
I knew I should have killed him. Alright, let's get you guys some food.
Heading off to your opium den?
Yeah, it's been the longest I've been without a fix for a while, yeah.
Yeah. Anything you wish to discuss on your carriage ride, or would you just like to arrive? The carriage pulls up at the familiar sight of Aldrich's opium den. Business, as always, is booming. Who's going in? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Aldrich steps into the opium den and is greeted by the staff on the door with a large smile. Master Aldrich, it's been a little while. We're so relieved to see you here. With a dog as well. Marvellous.
Oh, yeah, that's old Dustin. Oh, wait, how long has it been exactly?
Well, you haven't been seen for about 10 days or so?
It only felt like a couple. Interesting. Anything happen while we were gone?
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because, yes.
Go on.
Oh, okay. Well, you see, there has been a strange foreign gang, I suppose, that's... Well, it's all very strange, Master Aldrich. They haven't made any moves on anything or anyone. And they're kind of taking up residence in the West End. And here's the real... No one seems to be a member of this gang, and yet they're leaving the most peculiar calling card everywhere. It's like some sort of weird magical thing. I don't know. They exist, but they don't exist. There's a gang of them. There's not a gang of them. And they call themselves the Order of the Dragon. Real fancy logo and all.
Oh, I thought you were about to say medicine man. Alright, that makes me feel better. Order of the Dragon. We have a location. An example of these calling cards you're talking about.
Well, this is where it's strange. It's like a symbol that's been painted onto a wall. And you know what the bobbies are like, especially in West End. They ain't having any of that, so it gets washed off right proper quick. But no one seems to know nothing about it.
Alright. And this is a gang, like a street gang. Like
Well,
of ours.
That's what we think. But again, there ain't no members. So is it like one
No
guy?
members and they haven't done anything. And
Yeah, it's right weird.
a big deal.
Well, it's right weird because of the way that they're operating in the West End. Like they're making moves, but they're not making moves in the way that you'd have us make moves. They
What
seem
sort of
to be-
moves are we talking?
Well, they seem to be more interested, right? In, like, the posh, upper-class families and shit. No businesses. Right proper weird it is. But they ain't bothered us, so we ain't bothered them.
Well, they should bother us. I mean, you don't just skip over us and go right to the big schools. You gotta earn your keep. We've been at this for a while.
You'd think so, right? But we can't find any of the fuckers anywhere. And obviously we can't exactly go bursting into people's houses in the West End without at least your say-so, and we ain't about to bring down the bobbies on us without you here.
Alright, no, you got a good head on your shoulders about that. Alright. Thanks for bringing it to our attention. I'll see to this personally. Let you know if we need it back up. Otherwise, if I could just get the usual for me, just count how many people are with me.
Yeah, of course. Your room is, of course, impeccably kept and waiting your arrival, sir.
Perfect. Alright, thank you.
You're seen round to the back. Plonk yourselves down in lavish satin and silk cushions, and presented moments later with a suitable body each. Everyone do your feeding rolls, please.
Oh, not me. I don't need it. So
Everyone except Drake, do your feeding rolls, please.
Kill the body, kill the body, kill the body, kill the body, kill the body.
I will be
I rolled a 0.
seductively singing Christmas carols as I feed.
I rolled a 0.
I wish you a Merry Christmas.
Somebody
Alright.
clip that.
Don't click
can I
that.
can I roll to heal and then I'll feed if I
Absolutely.
Okay. Cool. No. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, cool. Right.
Alistair, were you feeding?
Yeah, I rolled a 0.
He was attempting to feed.
Oh, you were shitting me.
I rolled a 0, and I
Would
can't
you like
reroll
suc-
shit. I got 5 hunger.
Would you like success at cost?
Nope, because I'm just gonna go murder somebody before the next game.
Is that what you think's going to happen?
I mean, as part of my story, yeah, I want it to happen. I need to level up.
Right. So, everyone except Alistair feeds successfully, extending their fangs, piercing the skin of their various meals. Unfortunately, Alistair does not.
Like, this
And
makes me grumpy, and now I
It
just
does
wanna
more than
kill
make you
something.
grumpy. And the sight of seeing the others feed, whilst he himself is so hungry, the beast inside of him screams awake. He is currently suffering from hunger frenzy, and will be seeking out the closest source of human blood.
Literally right in front of me.
This frenzy will end when you reach hunger 1 or below.
I feed on him again. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do. Yeah, this is the easy one.
So, you will be feeding, and it will be successful.
If I see, I'm assuming he's obviously there's some sort of change going over him in this frenzy.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want him to kill one of our people. So once he starts feeding, I'm just gonna sort of lean in and gently place a hand on the back of his head and just watch. And if I feel like it's too much, I'm gonna try to pull him away.
Then in that case, you need to do Strength and Brawl versus Alistair's Strength and Brawl.
Yeah, okay, he does it. Yeah. I don't think this is going to be a contest.
And that's also only going to reduce your hunger down
1.
to... that's also only going to reduce your hunger by 2. So you are still... what would that make your hunger level? That would make your hunger level 3. So you are still under the effects of hunger frenzy.
So holding, I'm just gonna point to some of the others. All right, he's going. This isn't good. It's everyone share a little bit with Alistair. I'm just gonna keep holding him and just try to bring multiple people so we could take like a bite out of each, essentially, if that makes sense.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's clever. I
Speaking
like
of
that.
Tapas. Human tapas.
So we've all already fed on them, right? How did we feed for 2?
Yep.
So can a human be fed on multiple times?
It's risky, but
At
yes.
3, they're good. They're good. Probably gonna need to go to the hospital, but they'll live. I only fed all. I only needed 1, so I could let him take 2 from mine.
Yeah, it sounds like there's enough options. And do your feeding roll again for me, please, Alistair.
Zero.
Would you like success
I'm
at
okay
cost?
with everything here. Yeah, I would take success at cost now with Daddy Aldrich holding my head.
Okay. So Daddy Aldrich passes you his kind that he only took a
He's-
small drink from.
He's only Daddy because he's holding my head.
The flesh is placed in front of you, but your frenzy will not abate. And before anyone can react, you sink your fangs deep into the flesh and drain as quickly and as fastly as you can, killing the kine in the process. You will take
Almost brutal feet fast. Really? Would I be able to do that?
2 stains. Well, that's what the dice are saying.
I
Otherwise,
mean,
it's
I asked for this. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I literally was going, please kill him. Please kill him.
and you may set your hunger down to 0 as you discard the body that drops to the floor, white as a sheet.
Now I can delay killing
completely
somebody.
anemic.
Just sort of be holding him. Yeah, while he does that, I'll look. Oh, no, you've nicked an artery. Now lick it. Hurry, lick it before it. Now he's fucking bled out. All right, all this for nothing. I'll just sort of roll Alistair onto the ground. I don't even know why I try at this point.
This is why I do it by myself sometimes.
It's all right. You feel better now?
Thank you. Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
I think it was the last, touching that doorknob really made me hungry.
No, it happens. It happens.
I'd like to heal.
Do a rouse check for me, please.
And
Gain
I
a hunger.
also hear Mr. Storyteller.
Do a rouse check for me, please.
Me 3.
Gain a hunger. Do a rouse check for me, please. Gain a hunger. Hunger and healing for everyone. Is there any last moment things you would like to do, or would you each like to retire to your havens a bit earlier than normal, but after the fact that you ruined Christmas for the entire world is deserved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, yes. When I go back to the house, does my dog have a collar now?
You got a call. Oh.
You picked up the collar, didn't you? So you would still have it on your person.
Okay. I would like to take my dog for a walk.
Outside.
Outside. Only on our grounds, though, like behind the house type thing.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, okay. You might have like
So
a
it means
2x3 small area.
Yeah,
Letting the dog
so
out
means
a
before.
little
Aldrich
grassy. Yeah.
Sir Drake.
Yeah.
You.
Letting the dog out before bed. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's a very strange sight in the very small courtyard back garden area of Eveline taking the twisted man dog figure,
Mr. Cuddles.
Mr. Cuddles. Anyone else? That's
Um,
strangely disturbing. That's in my head. That is a strangely disturbing scene.
That's why I did it.
So I could probably just retire as usual for the evening, but before he goes down into the cave, he goes upstairs and goes to the bathroom.
That bathroom.
The same room.
Bathroom?
Yes, that bathroom. And stares at the lock for a minute. Just thinking, would have been so easy for him to drop by and just break the lock, and things might have been different. He starts for a minute and then just kind of shakes his head and heads down.
So, on that note, I'm still trying to get the image of Mr. Cuddles out of my head, which is not helping much. We'll call it for this week. Only a little bit earlier than normal. And we'll be back next week. But first of all, who are you all? Aldrich, who are you? Where can we find you?
I'm Bully. I am the storyteller over at Table Goth. We do games and vampire tutorials and stuff like that. You can check out our YouTube channel. Also running Cults of the Blood Gods over at the Onyx Path Publishing's channel on Thursdays. Watch that.
You watch that. Alistair! Who is Inspector Grey and where can we find him?
Oh, he's not Scavian. You can find him here. I won't spoil his OnlyFans. That's his thing now. Unless it's been added to the...
Oh, I fucking hope not. Inspector Grey! Who is Tina and where can we find him?
Tina is he's here. You can find him in Discord. I think he plays games Friday.
No, I rage quit Fridays. I'll
Okay.
get over to that after a while.
Yeah, you can find him on Table for us. There you go.
Eveline! Who is Thurston and where can he be found? Oh no, that's not going to work because you're actually
Nitro.
doing lots of things. So who are you and where can we find you?
Well, no, actually, most of my things have stopped for now. So you can find me just about anywhere as Ms. Hertz. And if you need any graphic design or promotional products, go to gibopromo.com.
Thurston! Who are you and where can we find you? And when to next Pacific
I'm
Rim Part 2
Thurston.
so I can have lots of Fade to Black scenes.
Yeah, I'm at
Metallica the whole time?
practically everywhere. Like Shiv brought up, we have part 2 of Pacific Rim happening soon, I believe. If
Soon TM.
soon TM if schedules line up. And if you need graphic design or promotional products, go to gibopromo.com.
So Drake, who are you and where can we find you? I believe we need to update some of our links at some point soon.
Here, be starting a Cyberpunk Red game with some folks soon on Saturday, but that's all in very much a preliminary stages, so watch this space. I'm also going to be on a guesting on a podcast soon called Dungeons and Dinners. The guy that runs it is a professional chef who also streams D&D, and there's like an overlap there. So I'm going to get asked, what's your favourite barbecue sauce and what's your favourite paladin subclass, that kind of thing.
Sounds like an amazing crossover.
Yeah. I think that's it for now.
Oh my god! Clark Kent's here! What happened to Aldrich? So yeah, I think that's housekeeping. Thank you all for coming and watching as